Alright, YouTube, we've got our third end times prediction for the year, this time in a date range rather than a specific date. It's the 23rd through 25th of this month, so you got a couple days to get ready until shit hits the fan, I suppose. Now, this comes courtesy of the Nibiru Planet X people that were wrong about Nibiru coming back in 2012. They were wrong about Nibiru coming in 2014. They were wrong about it coming earlier this year. And I'm gonna take a flying fuck at a rolling donut here and put my neck out there. Probably gonna be wrong in the next 48 to 72 hours as radioactive clumps of rock do not start raining down on the planet. Because the source that they give is an unnamed Kuwaiti government official saying, oh yeah, a bunch of asteroids that were going to hit us anyway got nuked, and now the radioactive chunks are going to start raining down in various places. It would be quite a show to behold if that happened, and I would say it'd be fun. I hope that it happens because it would bring some interesting shit to this otherwise relatively boring time period that we're in. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the story is probably a bunch of hokum like all of their other claims. They say, oh, well, a brown dwarf is orbiting around our sun now. It's going to smash into Earth, and we're just going to wake up dead one morning. So, dead grass growing in the garden, I suppose. Or Nibiru's coming around, the mothership is coming, space ghosts are coming, something like that. You know, killer clowns from outer space are going to land here, killer tomatoes or whatever, and we're all going to get wiped out. Jesus comes back, then he fixes everything, raises everybody from the dead. They stand up in their graves with their jaws hanging off because they're like corpses, they're all rotten. And then they say, oh, Jesus, why did you raise us from the dead? You should have just left us corpses. Then we couldn't feel the pain. Look at us, we're like ugly and hideous. But yeah, it comes from the Nibiru's Planet X YouTube channel. That's the source that's being used for this story. So even less relevant than the Georgia Guidestone stuff. I remember there were a bunch of remote viewers claiming that there was something going on with that last month. It never happened. It was predestined that it wouldn't happen because they were primordially wrong. All of their summations about this shit makes no sense. It's like the Mayan prophecy stuff. The Nibiru people were actually instrumental in causing much of the panic that was there. The one thing they accomplished in doing this is that the mass spiritual transformation, or I should say psychological transformation of at least the Western world, had somewhat to do with that. The mass panic that set in got a lot of people interested in prepping, and got them sort of worried about government and so forth. It actually, it does loosely play a moderately important role, not a primary role, but a moderately important role in sort of the paradigm shift going on within world society and politics now. It's just part of it. It's not even one of the major parts of it, but it does play in. It's one of the little stones in the archway to the new era, I suppose. But it's not the capstone by any means, in any way, shape, or form. But the Nibiru people are basically wrong about everything, like with the Mayan calendar. They missed the spiritual shift and they focused on, oh, well, the black rain is going to come down, we're all going to get killed. Which never happened, obviously. It wasn't going to happen. It's not even what the prophecy talks about. I pointed that out. And when I talk about Nibiru or Planet X or something, these things do not exist. There is no Nibiru. Planet X, you could use it loosely as a term for any exoplanet, any body out there that science hasn't quite quantified yet. It's hiding behind Neptune or something, and it's just large enough to be a planetoid. They'll declare it Planet X. But the basic concept that there's something out there perturbing some other planet's orbit doesn't mean that it's part of some great grand conspiracy to wipe out all of mankind or enslave it. I think that mundane, secular explanations are good enough to explain all the corruption and fucked up shit in the world. Behavioral sync works just fine. Oh, Milgram's experiment works just fine. There are plenty of ways to discuss these things in a little bit more of a rational manner. But do I expect that the world is going to end in a radioactive blast of rock on the 23rd, 24th, and or 25th? No, I don't believe it. And on the 26th, when there's a 99% chance nothing has happened, they'll claim that any little, if so much as one meteor is seen in this date range, which is almost a foregone conclusion that it will, they will declare it to be evidence that their prediction was correct. That's the real problem. I remember when the Georgia Guidestones crap over a month ago, a bunch of remote viewers were rambling about, oh yeah, I remember Monograph. Now, I'm subscribed to Montegraph, but he swore up and down while the primaries were still going on, oh yeah, I did some remote viewing and I was in on a meeting and Jeb Bush was being anointed the Republican nominee. He's definitely going to get it. And I left him a comment on that video and said, nope, not going to happen. Jeb's completely gone. He'll be dropping out pretty soon. And of course got a little bit of flack for that. But I was right, and this remote viewer who claims all these powers, somehow, magically, he was wrong. Could it be that he deluded himself into thinking that he could remote view? Or he remote viewed and he was actually dreaming? Or he was looking at some other variant of reality on some other dimension? Doesn't matter, and I don't care, honestly. But when these people that are obsessed with the concept that the Earth has a second sun that we just can't see for some magical reason or something like that, then I say these people are generally full of shit because all their predictions seem to be wrong. Every single one of them. Not one of them has come true. It's a lower accuracy rating than the fucking Bible. So I don't take these things seriously, despite the fact that I'm engaged in the occult. I like end times prophecy stuff. It's spooky dooky. It's fun to read about, but I'm not even a Judeo-Christian, so I can't really take it that seriously. Because most of these people, it's like some monk 500 years ago wrote a book about his predictions in really, really heavily veiled language, and everyone takes it seriously. It's like, why bother? It doesn't even make sense why you do that. It's like, people back then, they didn't even understand chemistry. They didn't know about cell theory or anything, and you're taking everything that they say seriously because the book that they wrote happened to be like bound in leather and in Old English. So it's automatically true because it's in Old English, I guess. The Nibiru people are hopelessly lost. They've already predicted that Nibiru would like smash into Earth or emerge from the other side of the sun, or the mothership would come. They've predicted this so many times, especially since the Mayan calendar debacle, that I'm surprised anybody takes this seriously. You see them in the comments areas on these videos, oh yeah, I feel it this time, brother, oh yeah, sister, we're going home, Jesus is coming back, or oh, the Illuminati will be gone for sure this time, or oh, we'll be dead, we'll be waiting on our rooftops for Jesus, or something like that. And it never happens. Like, do these people actually go up on their roofs and wait for Jesus or something every time some retard on YouTube makes a prediction about the end times? Oh, this time I'm sure it's real because it's got gematria in it, so I'm gonna go climb up on my roof, in the middle of the night, maybe fall off and die, and then I guess the world ends for me. This is what they do? My goodness, someone fucking look in on these people, make sure they're not just suicidal and creating some sort of weird spiritual ideation in order to justify their own suicidal tendencies or something. I just don't understand it. That's about all. Peace out.